On the costumes, I started out by looking for an inexpensive dress that had a hoop in the bottom. Ivy's was a princess and mine is a queen dress. And I had a lot of softer elements on this dress. You can see through the midsection and up onto the shoulders that I knew wouldn't take the paint well. So I took a pair of jeans and just cut up to make some texture and add onto the front all through the midsection. I just roughly sewed a bunch of that denim material that I painted over. It doesn't have to be pretty because you're going to paint it. The pant leg I sewed onto the bottom, just roughly hand sewed. And on Ivy's, same thing. This is just a pair of skinny jeans that we hot glued onto the bottom of her dress. And then before we did that, we stuffed it with grocery bags. And you can see she's just putting that in where it was really lightweight and easy to glue on. For the front of her dress, I cut off those sashes, and also I cut off the sleeves. And you can see underneath there's a black spiderweb tablecloth that is also something I cut up and used for this costume. It was made out of vinyl, and you can see on the shoulders there, after I had cut her sleeves off, it looked kind of gnarly, so I used that tablecloth to create the element up there on the top of the dress. And once everything's painted, it all is cohesive, and you can see here, I'm just kind of not overthinking, just throwing the paint on top of the white section on top if you turn your brush sideways. For the base coat, you can see the twins helping me there. I just kind of kept going off to that original. This was my inspiration. And I just think it's important for kids to kind of see that you can create what you envision, and they helped a lot with this, and the process was really fun. And Ivy really especially got into this and loved the painting aspect. And you just don't have to have it perfect. I would say just get started. Once you paint everything, it kind of all comes together. We just set up a big section in the garage and hung it from the ceiling, so it was easy to dry, and just also I don't have a lot of time on my hands, so it was easy to come back and forth and just do a little bit at a time, like with the sewing or the painting. And just about a month before Halloween, I think, is when I got started. And when you're doing the element on this dress for Ivy, I did sew some sectioning, you can see as it's drying, it would scrunch in certain areas, and I would take that and hand sew with thick thread and needle. I just ended up using kind of what I think they use it for hair extensions, but a thick needle and thick thread that I got at Sally's Beauty Supply. And then for Jeremy's costume, that draping that you see on the front is the tablecloth, the same thing that I used on Ivy's shoulders. But his original costume underneath that draping across the front that you see, it was just a king's costume that also I bought that at Kmart, and just it took the paint really well. It was super fast to paint his, and all the other details like the sword and the shield, they were just kind of things that we had, and we just painted them. And the wings, Ivy's wearing my wings, and all these pictures that you see of her, she didn't wear the wings. We only did this on her one time, and she was trick-or-treating that night, so she just wore the wings for the pictures. But there's a tutorial on that also where I made the wings out of styrofoam, and everything's painted with the same color. The Valspar rugged suede for the bottom, and then on the top, white. You can use just any white paint. And then her twin brother's costume, same. He didn't want to be painted, but you could just do like a knight for a boy. Happy Halloween!